In this video, we're going to discuss about the continuity at a point. So para maintindihan kagad natin yung concept ng continuity, so meron ako ditong dalawang functions. Yung isa ay continuous at point x equals 1, yung isa naman not continuous at point x equals 1. Okay, so paano natin nasabi na yung function 3x minus 1 ay continuous at x equals 1? So, continuous siya kapag kaya nating i-draw yung graph ng function ng tuloy-tuloy. Okay? So, let's say, i-draw natin to using yung ballpen na to, then hindi tataas yung ballpen natin. Okay? Kapag dumaan na dito sa point x equals 1. Okay? Then, dito naman, yung g ay hindi continuous or not continuous at x equals 1 kasi kapag i-draw natin yung graph nito, using yung ballpen nga natin, then kapag papunta na siya dito sa x equals 1, then aangat yung ballpen natin and then saka magtutuloy yung graph. Meaning, hindi kasali ito. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple, no? Sa in terms of graph. So, kapag magdodrawing tayo ng tuloy-tuloy nang hindi umaangat yung ballpen natin, then continuous siya. Pero, kapag yung ballpen natin ay umangat, then masasabi natin na yung function ay not continuous at that point. Now let's have the definition of continuous at a point. A function f is said to be continuous at point x equals c if the following conditions are all satisfied. So first condition, dapat yung value ng function at c is defined. Then, second condition, dapat yung limit ng f of x as x approaches c exists. And for number 3, dapat yung value na nakuha mo sa number 1 at saka yung nakuha mo sa number 2 ay equal. Okay? So, dapat masatisfy to lahat para masabi natin na continuous at point c. Otherwise, f is said to be discontinuous at x equals c. So, mali yan. X equals c. Okay? For example, number 1, so, i-check natin, given yung function f of x equals x cubed plus x squared minus 2 is continuous at x equals 1. Okay? So, tignan natin kung continuous siya at x equals 1. So, una, for our solution, tignan natin yung first condition, kukunin natin yung f of 1. So, dapat defined siya. Okay, so f of 1 equals 1 cubed plus 1 squared minus 2. This is 1 plus 1 minus 2 and this is equal to 0. Okay, so therefore, yung value ng function ay defined. Okay? Then, for number 2, kunin naman natin yung limit ng f of x as x approaches 1. So, dapat nag-e-exist yung limit na yan. Okay? But since ito ay polynomial, then pwede yung direct substitution. So we have 1 cubed plus 1 squared minus 2 and this is also equal to 0. So therefore, yung limit niya ay nag-e-exist. And as you can see, yung f of 1 natin ay equal doon sa limit ng function as x approaches 1. So therefore, since na-satisfy yung first and second and yung third condition, then we can say that f is continuous at x equals 1. Now let's try f of x equals x squared minus x minus 2 over x minus 2 at x equals 2. Okay? So, dun muna tayo sa una. First condition, let's find f of 2. So, this will be 2 squared minus 2 minus 2 over 2 minus 2. And as you can see, ang lalabas niya dyan ay 0 over 0. So, this is undefined. Okay? Kasi naka-over 0. So, hindi pwede yung 0 sa denominator. Okay? Then, so sa ganito, hindi na natin kailangan ituloy yan. Kasi hindi na na-satisfy yung first condition. So, therefore, f is not continuous at x equals 2. Or pwede nating sabihin na f is discontinuous at x equals 2. Okay? So by the way, bago tayo mag-proceed sa another example, so wag tayo magkakamali na yung 0/0 ay indeterminate sa part na to. Okay? So take note, ang indeterminate ay for limits. Okay? Pero dito sa case na to, ang kinukuha natin ay value ng function. Which is, yung 0/0 na lumabas is not indeterminate kasi yung indeterminate na yun ay para sa limits. So, ang tawag natin dito sa over 0, since yung denominator ay 0, ay undefined. Okay? So, proceed tayo sa next. For number 3, let's try f of x equals, so piecewise naman tayo, x squared minus 2x plus 1 over x minus 1 if x is not equal to 1, and 3 if x is equal to 1 at x equals 1. Okay, so itest natin kung continuous siya at x equals 1. So for solution, so try natin yung f of 1. So yung f of 1 niya, 'di ba? Sa paggamit ng piecewise, if x equals 1, then ano yung f of x natin? That is 3. Okay, so therefore yung f of 1 natin ay 3. Okay, so okay yung first condition natin kasi yung value ay undefined. So second condition, let's have limit of f of x as x approaches 1. So this will be equal to, so dito sa limit ang pinag-uusapan yung mga values na malapit dun sa 1 from the left and from the right. So meaning yan yung mga values na not equal sa 1. So ito yung gagamitin natin. And then pwede natin siyang i-substitute dito. So kung isa-substitute natin siya, this will be 1 squared minus 2 plus 1 over 1 minus 1, and this will be indeterminate form, no? So hahanap tayo ng ibang paraan. Okay? So, limit of f of x as x approaches 1 equals limit of, so pwede natin i-factor to. So, magiging x minus 1 tapos x minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1. Then, makakancel, magiging limit x minus 1 as x approaches 1. So, this will be equal to 1 minus 1. This is 0. And as you can see, yung value ay 3, yung limit ay 0. So, yung f of 1 is not equal sa limit. Okay? So, therefore, f is not continuous at x equals 1. For number 4, so let's try f of x equals the set containing x plus 1 if x is less than 4, and x minus 4 quantity squared plus 3 if x is greater than or equal to 4 at x equals 4. Okay? So for our solution, so for test 1, hanapin natin yung f of 4. So this will be equal to, ito yung gagamitin natin kasi nandito yung 4. So magiging 4 minus 4 quantity squared plus 3. So this will be 3. Kasi ito magiging 0 na 3 na lang matitira. Okay, so define yung first condition. Then yung second naman, kunin natin yung limit. But before that, kung mapapansin nyo, nahati yung piecewise natin sa x less than 4 tsaka sa x greater than or equal to 4 at x equals 4. Okay? So, kung titignan natin yung left hand tsaka right hand limit natin dito, iba yung gagamitin. Sa left hand limit, ang gagamitin ay x plus 1. Tapos sa right hand, ito. Okay? Kasi ito yung from the left side of 4, ito yung from the right side of 4. Okay? So, kunin natin yung left hand as x approaches 4 from the left. So, this will be 4 plus 1. Kasi yung mga less than sa 4 yan, then this will be equal to 5. Pero dito, kapag ito naman yung right hand, as x approaches 4 from the right, is equal to 4 minus 4 squared. Ito kasi yun, plus 3, this will be equal to 3. And as you can see, yung left hand limit tsaka yung right hand limit ay magkaiba. Therefore, yung limit ng f of x as x approaches 4 does not exist. Okay? So kung hindi nag-exist yan, therefore, f is not continuous at x equals 4.